Hey friends, how you all doing? Today I'm doing a video on motorcycle battery charging issues. Most of us would have faced this kind of an issue at least one time in our life. That is when we try to crank the motorcycle and we notice that the battery is low. So today what I'll be speaking about will be applicable to most of the modern motorbikes. There are a few different kind of motorcycle battery charging systems. However, this is the most common. Let us start with the basic. Where is the power generated from on a motorcycle? On a motorcycle, power is generated from here, most of the motorcycles. And this area is known as the stator and the rotor area. There are magnets, and there is another part which moves. It is known as the rotor, and this produces electric power. This produces AC power, alternating current. And however, the motorcycle battery is DC, direct current, a 12 volt battery. So there is a process involved where the power generated from the stator, which is AC, has to get to the battery and charge the battery in DC current and limit it to a certain voltage so that the battery does not overcharge. So how does it work? Now, when you start the motorbike, it starts on, it cranks on the battery power, alright? And after the motorbike starts, what happens is that this area of the motorcycle starts producing AC power. You can see 3 wires going from the stator. Most of the time they are either 3 whites or 3 yellows. So all 3 are AC, and typically when you start the motorbike, the stator would be producing about 65 volts at idle at about 1000 or 1500 RPM. And when the RPM is at about 4500 revs, then this stator would produce about 100 or 110 volts AC power. Then what happens? There's power produced here, and this would go through the 3 AC wires. Then what happens? These wires go to a part known as the regulator rectifier. This is the most critical part, and this is a part which is prone to failure very often. So this is how a typical regulator rectifier looks like. So what happens? The 3 AC wires which make AC power go from the stator and enter here. You see the top 3 terminals. This regulator rectifier is something which takes the AC power. It takes the 3-phase AC power in and rectifies it. And what does it mean by rectifying? It converts AC power to DC power. Alright? And then regulates the DC power to the voltage at which the battery can charge and not overcharge. The battery needs, any typical motorcycle battery, a 12 volt battery would need around 14.2 to maximum of 14.8, sometimes even 15 the regulators can send power up to. However, it should not generally cross 15 volts DC. Alright, so let me summarize this. The stator and the rotor, they together generate AC power, and they send the AC power through 3 wires, and they come to the regulator rectifier. And the regulator rectifier takes the AC power and converts the AC power into DC. And then the DC power is regulated to not more than 14.8 volts, and that is where the battery gets charged. So if you find your motorcycle battery to be low, what do? The first thing to check is how old is your motorcycle battery. Most of the motorcycle batteries have a lifespan of about 3 to 5 years, and some high performance batteries even have a lifespan of about 7 years. Get the motorcycle battery out of the motorcycle and charge it on an external charger. Charge it for about 3 to 4 hours and check the voltage on a multimeter. Alright, these you can buy a multimeter, an external charger online. These don't cost much. So most of the time when you check a fully charged battery, it would show a voltage of above 12.5. Like you see here, this is a fully charged battery and it is showing 13.02 volts. Although the battery says 12 volts, it should always read more than 12 volts if it's a healthy battery. It can also read up to 13.5 volts. So this is a healthy, well-charged battery. However, how do you check if the battery is holding the charge? After you have fully charged your motorcycle battery on an external power source, take the battery, put it back into your motorcycle, and now don't start the motorcycle. Put the headlights on and then use the multimeter again and check the voltage. So before you put load onto your battery, it was showing about 13 volts, and now you put the headlight on. It should not go down lesser than 12.5. If it is going down lesser than 12.5, say if it's going down to 10 volts or 9 volts, it means the battery is charging, however it is not holding the charge. Then now looks like we have a battery issue. And if you have issue only with your battery, then you're lucky. All that you need to do is go claim warranty on your battery if it is under the warranty period, or buy a new battery. However, if your battery is fine, that is, you put load on your battery and your battery voltage did not drop too much, it was at 13 and it came down to 12.5. If that is the case, then looks like your battery is not getting required voltage to get charged. What you need to do is imagine, hypothetically, if this battery is right now inside the motorcycle and it is fixed and the terminals are connected. What you need to do is crank the motorcycle. Alright, and before cranking, we need to check what was the voltage showing on the battery. So if it was showing 13 volts on a fully charged battery, what you need to do is crank the motorcycle and keep the multimeter running. If your charging system on the motorcycle is working fine, then now what would happen? The stator would start sending the AC voltage to the regulator rectifier, and the regulator rectifier would be converting AC to DC, and the DC would get regulated to about 14.2 to 14.8, and that power would be charging the motorcycle battery. So on the multimeter, what should be the reading? It should be about 14.2 to 14.8. Yes. And if you do not see that reading while the motorcycle is running, keep the revs at about 3 to 4,000 RPM so that you get the optimum power output from the stator. So if you do not see that kind of a voltage reading at your battery terminals when your motorcycle is running, it means the regulator rectifier is not doing its job. If you see that the reading has not changed at all, that is, after you start the motorcycle and the engine is running, you are at about 3 to 4,000 revs, and at the battery terminals, on the multimeter, if it is still showing only 13 volts, it means the regulator rectifier is gone bad. You need a new regulator rectifier. However, if it is showing more than 14.2 or 14.8 volts, if it is showing 16 volts or 18 volts, it means the voltage from the stator is getting rectified from AC to DC, however is not getting regulated. So the regulator part of the regulator rectifier is gone bad. However, unfortunately it's a single unit and you would need a replacement of the whole unit. If your motorcycle engine is running and you do not get any power to the battery, if the reading at the battery terminals is not showing 14.2 or 14.8, then it can mean one thing is, of course, the regulator rectifier has gone bad. However, there can also be a possibility that the stator is not producing enough power. It could be that the stator has some kind of an issue. The magnets, usually magnets don't really have a problem, but the winding could have some kind of an issue. There is a possibility that the stator could have got burned. It could have got shorted. So there is a way of checking it. However, I do not recommend it if you do not have prior experience, because you would be dealing with AC voltage there. So friends, the battery charging system of a motorcycle is a topic which has got a lot of details in it. So all that I've done right now is only summarized it. So what I would like you to do is, if you have any kind of an issue with the charging system on your motorcycle, if your battery is not charging, do comment to me on this video. Let me know in detail what kind of a battery you have, what kind of a motorcycle it is, what year, what make, and let me know a few details about the kind of issue you've been facing, and I will try to help you out. And that's it. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.